What's up, nail friends? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a redesign on these extra long acrylics. Happy New Year to everyone, and let's get started here. So first, I'm going to file down the length ever so slightly, just what she had in regrowth. This video is going to be in real time. That's what my YouTube videos are. They're all real time. So this nail she did break and glue it. So I'll show you guys what I do to fix that. I'm just going to file her nails down thin. I'm using a carbide bit here. You can see I file down the side, I file the tip, then I go down her other side, and I'm just trying to debulk and file this thin back down to a thin base. This client loves black nails and loves doing black, so she does another black design, so we don't have to worry too much if there's a little bit of black left behind. But I am doing nude. I like a nude cover pink on this nail, so I am going to file this down as much as I can, try to get these glitters. I'm going to acrylic off so that I can do the nude design, and I'll show you guys that. So I just lift up often. You guys can see me. I lift off and I chat with my client for a sec just to make sure it's not hot. I go back and forth between her nails, and I just make sure that I'm not burning her. So she has a little bit of lifting right there. I'm just trying to get it filed down thin right there, you can see, and then I am again going down to remove some of this acrylic color. And this carbide bit I got from Amazon, and yeah, you can see here that I'm just being gentle and careful with acrylics. It's hard to get it all off, and you don't want to break the nail because you still want to keep that structure there. So this nail I did clip it, and that's what her nail looks like. So I'm going to file this down and we will reapply on this nail. This was her left hand, right hand. This is her right hand, which I film with my cell phone camera usually. So I am just prepping this hand on camera, but I will fix this nail with the nail tip. It's not filmed, so I'm just gonna tell you what I did. I apply a nail tip, I apply my base, and then after it dries, I file it into shape, and then I start from there. So this is just what I did for prep. File thin, try to get this color off because we're doing a whole new nail here. So I am filing the free edge here because it was kind of wonky after I clipped it. So I'm just using a file to fix that, and then I'm going to just got a chunk of acrylic there, so I can get that off, and then I'm going to file the nail with a smaller carbide bit right here. Just going to go over that black, try and thin it out some more, because like I said, you really want to get these colors off if you're doing a whole new nail, and especially if you were doing a colorful set. I'm not doing a colorful set, so luckily I'm able to leave some black behind, but I am taking my hand file now and I'm just going over that color. I've gotten as far down as I can with my carbide bit, so now I'm just using a hand file to gently go over that and get that color off. And then I do ask her, like, is this sore or uncomfortable? And she said no, so I just got that off gently and carefully. After I have done that, I've applied my primer and dehydrator, and now we're going to go in, and I am using this cover pink color I told you guys I was going to be using. So I am doing smile lines, so I'm just sitting here and trying to form my smile line. So when I'm doing long nails like this, I like to form the actual smile line before going at the cuticle area, and that way I can just I can kind of sit there and pat and work on it, because it takes a little bit while to dry, takes a little bit of time to form. So just patting it into place, cleaning off my brush, moving the product where I want it, and then I'm trying to sharpen my brush so I can pull it up and create that smile line shape with my brush. So I'm going on this side, wiping off my brush, pulling down. I need a new brush, so I was kind of struggling a bit here. Pat, 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 and then I'm going to fix that smile line again. I'm just turning my brush and kind of carving that out, and then carving this side out. And then you can file this before you apply your acrylic to make it nice and crisp. I'm picking up a bead, placing that at the cuticle area, but not right at the cuticle area, bending her finger down, wiping off my brush, pushing the product towards the cuticle area and then using the tip of my brush to push that in close. And I'm going to use this to go over that smile line and blend that in. Push this into the corner there carefully. Don't overlap the skin. Clean off your brush. Gently tap that in and then swipe that down. And then I had to fix my smile line. On this nail, it's her ring finger on both hands. I'm just doing a plain cover pink color because we're doing snowflakes and some stuff like that. So this nail just needs to be just one color. The black underneath, like I said, I already knew I was going to be adding black, gold, and silver snowflakes. So I knew if there was any black poking through, we would cover that. Also, the design we're doing has a gold kind of, what's the word? I go around the nail with the gold at the end too. So if there's any black at the sides, that'll be covered as well. So that's what I know we're doing. So I'm confident that this will work out with a little bit of black left over. So that's why I'm not filing more off or replacing the nail, because I know it will work out in the end. So I've placed that down, swiped that down, covered up some of that tip. Now I'm adding another bead in the middle of the nail. These nails are kind of long here, so I am just carefully applying. Plus I am trying to build this nail up a bit. And like I said, I was trying to make sure to really, really get that color covered. So you'll see me kind of taking my time on this nail. Working on my cuticle bead, a little bit smaller this time because I don't need as much. Placing that down, squishing it close to the cuticle area, tapping that into place and blending down. Tap, 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 blend down. Oh, we slipped there. Again, blend, blend, blend. So this nail, like I said, we can leave that a little bit of black. So this nail's long, so I have to kind of adjust the tip as I'm working to make sure I keep that squared off edge. And I'm just tapping. So this nail, I'm not trying to create my apex yet. This color you can absolutely apply completely without any clear and just use it as one color. So I am just using it to create full color to start, and then I will worry about creating my apex and encapsulating everything all at once. Just trying to see the color get covered and see how much more I need to add and what to do, because like I said, the nails are black and then I'm going in with nude, so you kind of do have to like think ahead here and like make sure you get all covered. You don't want to have like a lot of shadow under there, so I'm just going to leave that, move on. So I'm showing you guys how I kind of work. I did the middle finger, the smile line, and then I did the full ring finger, and now I'm using this nude to go over to the pointer finger, and I'm just applying this at the cuticle area and blending down, and then this will be a totally different color nail. So since I'm using the nude and it has nothing in my monomer yet, I go and just do the nude color on all the nails that need it first, and now we're going to pick up the black and then we can use the black. So the nude I've already used where I want it on these nails, and then I'm going to go in with my black. So I'm doing a full black pinky. I pick up a big bead. I kind of feathered it upward first, and now I'm just gently feathering that down the tip, pulling off some of that black, trying to make this nice and even and smooth. If you guys do colored acrylic, you know black is really hard to use, black and red, but black, you don't want any like bubbles, you don't want any crystallization, you don't want any dust, you don't want anything like that. So you have to do it a little bit wetter and be a little bit more patient when you work with black. So I'm letting that kind of dry. It dries a little slower. Got the pigment, a lot of pigment in it, so it's got to dry slower here. So I'm just working on that tip. I bumped it, so now I'm just coming in, fixing that up. I like to go up at the tip, and now I'm just kind of blending that upward, working on this pinky for a while here, trying to make my tip nice and even. And then we'll go in for our cuticle bead. So I'm picking out my bead, wiping it off, make sure it's not too wet. So you can see me leaving and coming back a couple times to make sure it wasn't too wet, because you do not want your black to bleed into that cuticle area. It's such a mess. You can see me using my fingers to have control of my hand with the brush. I'm also holding the brush at the very tip here. I'm just using the very, very tip of the brush to push that into the cuticle area And then I'm gonna try to tap, tap, tap and blend down. Cleaning off my brush, bending the finger down, and then tap and pull that down into the rest of the color. And again, you want it to be a little wetter so that you don't get any bubbles or anything like that. And then just tapping that where I need it to go there. Blend and tap. Going back over to this pointer finger, I'm just adding the black in the center here. And then I will fade this down. And yeah, this nail doesn't have to be perfect. It's not a full cuticle to tip black. It's just, we're doing a silver design on this. I just have to add the black down first. Here's where I made a mistake. So I took my tool here, and I've seen this done so many times online. I thought, hey, that looks cool. I have that tool. I can do that. So I thought I'd give it a try and see how it went. You guys have probably seen people doing this to file their smile line instead of using the hand file. I've always just used my hand file. It's always been perfectly fine. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I was like, all right, that's just fine, whatever. I ended up still going back over it with my hand file. But I guess when I was filing, I filed just a little too much. And at the end of service, my client just finished to have her go wash her hands, and she was picking up her phone to move it. And I knocked my handstand that her hands rested on over, and it landed exactly where this finger nail meets this black here, and right where her finger was hanging off her cell phone. So it just was like a tragic freak nail accident. So I had to fix it. After I spent 2.5 hours doing this set, and then I broke the nail immediately after and had to fix it. So funny. I was like, what? I didn't film that because at that point it had been, like I said, 2.5 hours. I think she was here at 4 p.m. It was a 4 p.m. I was tired, ready to like go eat dinner, and then I broke it and I had to fix it. I was like, no. And it takes half an hour to fix one nail because you have to file it down, let it dry, blah, blah, blah. Just doing one nail is so annoying. Anyways, that was my story. So I added this black in. Don't do what I did. Just use your hand file. It does the exact same, looks the same, and doesn't risk accidentally over filing and making it weaker. So I'm going in here before adding my silver because this black finger, I want to stay black. So I'm adding, it's nice and wet, and I'm placing that down. I'm just trying to encapsulate that black with clear on the very tip. I don't need it to be thick or anything. I need it to be wet, without bubbles, without crystallizing, and everything like that. So I place that down, wet, and pulled it off. Now I'm going in. I'm picking up another bead here, placing that down at the cuticle area, wiping off my brush, and then I'm being quick because, like I said, you don't want this to dry and get any crystallization under it. I'm trying to really make sure that it doesn't dry and trying to pat and pull that into place so we don't get any like overlapping bubbles or anything like that. That's the worst. If you do, you guys know, you know what I mean. When it happens, it really sucks. So I am doing that a little bit wetter because of this full black nail, and then I am patting and pulling that down to make sure that I get that into place. And then I am adding a little bead after that to create a bigger apex at her cuticle area. For this nail, so I was looking at it, and before I built up my apex at the cuticle area, I decided to add some more of the acrylic. I'm placing it down and kind of smushed that so it goes over the edge on the side there, because you can see the black on the side. So I just wanted to, I don't know, build up the color a little bit more before building my apex. For this nail, I'm just adding that clear. I put my brush under the clear and wiped it down so that it was nice and wet on the black, feathering that up to make sure that the color is connected. Not that it mattered because this nail broke, but let's say you did it the proper way. And then I'm going to feather this down to build that up, create my apex, all that good stuff. Before going in and doing any silver. So because we're using black, I wanted to encapsulate all of the black before touching the silver and mixing any kind of silver in with my monomer. So that's how I kind of go about doing nails, and what's my thought process and why I go from finger to finger and go back and forth and stuff like that. So you could always have a second brush and a second monomer dish if you wanted to just go finger to finger and not have to think about think how I'm doing it here. But yeah, so anyways, now I'm going in with my silvers. So I think I used Glitterwell's Daydream, and then I'm picking up these amazing stars, and I'm just patting that as well into that. So this nail's supposed to be like super, super glitter and pretty. And after I've added all the silver in the nails, I will encapsulate this nail as well. So I'll show you guys what they look like after they're encapsulated. And this is what they look like before finish filing. So I'm going to go and file the hand that I just did, because now after I did that hand, I did her other hand, and now the first hand had dried. I'm going in with a carbide bit to debulk. I'm just gently filing down the nails to make them even, debulk them, file underneath, go over everything before we go in with a hand file. So I always like to do that for finish filing. Then I'm going to go in with a hand file. So I'm just using a metal file board. I've talked about these a lot on my channel. I really like metal file boards. One side I did 100, the other side I probably did 150 or 180. I can't see right now, but one of the two. And then I used the 100 side to really get my sidewalls and my free edge to that nice shape that I want. Because the metal isn't as flexible, you can really make sure to get it where you want your shaping, and you just doesn't move around and create any kind of bulbousy ends, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So I'm going to use it to go over this nail, file everything nice and even. I want to make sure to even everything out. Going over this, file, file, file. And then when I am finished hand filing with this file and I'm happy with every nail, I go in with another hand file that is the flexible hand file, so not a metal file board. I go over everything again just to make sure there's no deep ridges or scratches before we move on to the next step. Here I am doing that, just going over everything with the flexible hand file around the cuticle area just to make sure I got everything. Then I'm going to go wipe all the dust off and cleanse, and then I'm just swiping the nail with some acetone, especially the black nails, because I want them to make sure they're nice and smooth and clean and free of dust, and make sure that I can see that there is nothing left on that nail that is going to show up when I do that top coat. So now I am adding stamps. So we're doing some snowflake stamps. I'm using, as always, Clear Jelly Stamper. That's basically the only stamping brand I use. So I'm just using that to stamp on some awesome snowflakes. So like I said, I'm using black. I knew that the black could cover up any black I saw, gold and silver snowflakes. And yeah, I'll clean up any snowflake that went on her skin as well. And you can see I'm back on her other hand here, and I'm taking some, so that's also why this was annoying, breaking the nail after also hand painting it. So I'm just painting some gold and silver. I kind of mixed, I think I mixed gold and silver together to create kind of a color that matched the stamps, you know. So I am going over and creating kind of a smile line design. So this set was inspired by this picture that my client gave. So I am just copying the way that set looks with the smile line, kind of thick smile lines, double thick smile lines. And the gold and silver mix that I used is from Beamy Beauty Box. Their metal leaf gels are literally the best for hand painting. If you can't hand paint smile lines or any kind of lines, you gotta get these. They're so forgiving. Love them so much. So I'm just going over that smile line that I did. So it kind of feels like a massive waste of time to do a whole sculpted smile line just to, you know, hand paint it. But I don't know. I just like, that's the way I do my acrylics. So I do the whole sculpted smile line, and then I still use that to go over it with my gold paint. So painting that in. I also did this on the pinkies and the thumbs. And I'm going to take that and go over the sides of the two nails that don't have the hand painted smile lines. So they're just to do some lines and tie the whole design together. And I thought it turned out really cute. And then we're going to go and top coat. So if you guys have seen me do this client before, you'll know what I do. I do the pinky and the ring finger, and I have her stick her hand in the lamp, and then I do the pinky and the ring finger on her other hand and have her stick her hand in the lamp. You know what I mean? Then she comes out and I will do her middle finger and pointer finger, and then do the other hand, and so on. And that is because her nails are extra long. I don't want to be sitting there applying my top coat, and then when I get to her thumb, the top coat has shifted into her cuticle area or anything like that. So just like to do two nails at once, wipe underneath, stick her hand in the lamp, and that's how I do it. So after that, I had her wash her hands, broke that nail and fixed it. You can't even tell. And here is the finished result. What do you guys think? I thought they turned out so pretty and so cute. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell next to it to be notified when I post, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.